Hey guys, welcome back in. Gonna do something a little different this stream. I'm just gonna run around to some of my old bases, um, just to see how they look. Make sure everything's working all right in them. Um, when the Worlds update dropped, it kind of ruined some of my bases, so I did delete some of them. I just want to kind of go through them again to see if there's any others that need to be, removed or cleaned up or whatever. So, um, I just run around and do that. So we're just loading into one of my legacy saves. This is actually my oldest save, I think. So there's a few bases on this one. Um, and also, I want to check my other account as well. So I'm going to go over to my home portal because my last, I believe it was July, my original PlayStation 5 died on me. And with PS5, you can't do local backups. So I ended up losing my save files on that because I wasn't going to pay for PlayStation Plus for a second account, so I figured I would never really need it. But unfortunately, I did lose my saves on that. So I want to see if those bases are still on the Hello Game servers. So we're going to take a little sidestep and just check on a couple. I think there's 4 systems I want to look at. I'll just load into my portal real quick. And just to go check on those, there'll be, what, I believe 12 bases. It's in 2 systems. So I just want to see if they still show on the servers, because I can't check them on that account because, it's the same account, they won't show up for you. But this is my first planet. I just started doing like a little R&D area here because I don't actually have an R&D save on this account. This was my first planet, and it's changed a few times. It's a swamp now, but it used to be like a nice light blue with white splotches. Totally different trees. Totally different biome. Yeah, it's changed like 3 or 4 times on me. Alright, let's get this thing charged up. Yeah, I think there's 4 different addresses I want to look at. Oh, alright, so I'm all charged up. I'm pretty sure I'm on free mode or whatever they call it. Alright, so this might take a couple of seconds because I gotta read it off a computer monitor. So we got third. And of course the glyphs I have, they're tiny to look at. So boot. For some reason, I never enlarged the size of these things when I made the video. It's like the only time I've ever done it. Okay, alright, so where is it? Well, hopefully this loads in alright. I'm pretty sure the bases I'm going to check were made on the Outer Vortex account. And I haven't been there in probably, like a year now. So I'm hoping they still show up. If not, then I lost a couple hundred hours worth of building. I figured I'd just check these first to get them out of the way. Hopefully they all load in. Who knows, though. So this first one, there should be just the one base I'm looking for. Alright. Yep, this is the right system. This is for Distant World Tours. Back in 2023. Let's see if anything pops up here for bases. Alright, so 2 other bases, so hopefully mine will. Solitude. Boundary Flower. Oh, there's a jump gate here? Okay, Vortex of Lives, there we go. Alright, so this actually gives me a little bit of hope that these things didn't just like get wiped out. See, this one's a like an after party base. That because what happens with Distant World Tours is you occupy an entire solar system, and you know you just build however many bases on the planets that are in it. You know, you can either build, you know, 1 base, or you can build up to 6. And then this is like an after party base where builders can come and everybody kind of occupies one system. Now, not many people will end up building the after party one, but if I have time, I like to swing in and build something. Alright. Our base computer. We have another building up there. Just make sure like electricity works, stuff like that. Alright, doors are looking good. So I'm not going to spend like a ton of time at these. I just want to make sure stuff is looking pretty good. Just got a good amount of just like some little glitch building here. Doing weird stuff like that, you know. And where I just tried out bunch of different things. My big storage containers in here. I finally figured out how to get all 10 of them to occupy a small amount of space. I've been wanting to try to figure this out for quite a while. I figured it out when I built this base. Got a back door here. Probably not going to let me through. So this is looking alright. Check that back door, make sure that's working. Alright, it's looking good. Yeah, so there's really not a lot here. It's built on top of a NPC building. There's a bunch of different resources going in too. Just go right into the top of that. Luckily the building didn't shift, because sometimes when they do an update your building will shift a little bit, but this one looks like it's all lined up pretty nicely still. And you know, your curved ceiling. This is the type of stuff I'd like to build, just something that looks a little bit different. Alright, so that's looking alright. Let's just check that other building. We have a teleporter right here too if we need it. And teleporter should hopefully take me right up to that other building. Alright. So far so good. Another circular building on top of a hollow terminus. Just take a swing up here. Yeah, the nice thing is, with these ladders you can go directly into the building. And you can exit too. Oh yeah, and this little power button will close the windows. You want them closed, or you can just open them back up. Yeah. stupid little things like that I like to incorporate every now and then. And get little mini biodomes. Nip nip. Bunch of different plants. These little stack glitches in here. And looks like everything's looking pretty good here. Got some different aquariums. I try to make them all a little bit different. So. Alright, so this is looking pretty decent. A little bar area. Yeah, I was able to get decals actually onto these golden tables, which actually took quite a bit to figure out. Because the collision on these tables, you typically can't put a decal there. I had to figure out a way to do that. And, alright, so we got our little bar area. Alright. So I'm really happy to see this here. So that does give me hope because the next couple systems have quite a few bases in them. And I was hoping that they might get scrubbed from the servers. I just want to interact with this to see if, you know, just so the game recognizes that somebody actually visited it. Little guys. Oh, there are Diplos on this planet too. Alright, and there is a teleporter in here, so I'm just going to teleport back to my home station. It's around here somewhere. Go back to home portal. Alright, so I can cross that one off the list. And actually, there's another after party base that I want to go to. That'll only be, I'm hoping to see 2 different bases at this one. I built one on inside Vortex and outer Vortex, so I'm hoping both of them show up. And then the next few systems should each have 6 bases. So that's why I want to check these things now, because I've been putting it off. So we'll load back in and see if we can jump over to this other system. Luckily, they're both kind of smaller bases. So it's next planet. At least I can see the glitch this time. And that waypoint. Man, I forgot the order that these things are in. That's how often I use portals now. I haven't had a portal around in quite a while. I've been doing just a lot of, you know, like permadeath challenges. I haven't been doing a lot of building. Let's see. We got face bird. And 2 more birds. Check this one out. Yeah, there should be 2 different bases I want to see here. Just having that first base pop up actually made me really happy because I expected to load in and not be able to see it. So. Alright, yeah, this is a glitch miner. I'm going to be looking for one called the Golden Ingot. I think there's probably only 1 base here anyway. Yeah, not too many people built in the after party system last year. Well, back in, yeah, there it is. 2024, I believe. So, I mean, there are a few bases. I think what I want is going to be an airless planet. But go check this ingot. Right. Oh, I might not be able to see my other base here because, yeah, I shouldn't be able to. I can only see it on that save. So, all right, golden ingot. All right, and you can get 1 million gold here. Oh, I have rocket boots on this thing. So this was how I did my silos, my extractors. Because you don't need a ton of extractors, so I believe I just did... Oh, we don't have power. That might not be good. I might have to come back and check that. Oh yeah, and these are all empty. Alright, so I'm gonna have to come back and check the power on that. See, this is why I like to visit these, just to make sure they're all working. I wonder if I can see what my power is. I most likely buried it somewhere close to here. My power's way away somewhere. Alright, so I'm gonna have to swing back for this, but yeah, what I did, I believe, because these are each gonna be 100,000 a run. So I did 4 extractors, then what, 90 something, what, 97, I think, silos for each circuit. Then they ran into one silo in this building just to keep everything isolated, and then one silo on the inside of the building. It gives you 100,000 per circuit. And if you look at the piping down here, I did all my piping with adornments, so I was able to keep the pipes kind of nice and snug. That's why they're all like 90 degrees. You know, gives it a nice clean look to it. Waiting for my thing to charge back up. Alright, so I need to come back and fix... Oh, I can't fix this. I don't have access to this account anymore. I can't even delete this if I wanted to. Yep, these are all going to be empty. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Well, at least I don't have to worry about having a bunch of spaces anymore. The base will be here, it just won't work. But I have some more glitching. Yeah, like none of these plants are growing either. It's weird. Little beetle. Like a little bar area over here too. I always try to do something different with my bars. I made this one out of, you know, just half walls, and then turn these top walls sideways. You know, make a little bar area. Yeah, and then I figured this out when These little tables first came out. Figured out how to do that. Alright. Well, that kind of sucks about the power. I wish I could come back here and fix it. I can't even delete the base if I wanted to. Oh. It is what it is. So, we'll head over. I'll just bring this in. We'll run back to that portal base and check the next system. Just get this one crossed off the list. Bring up my other address. Now this next system is one that I hope is really working because there's 6 bases there, and hopefully they all stay. I feel pretty confident now that they should be okay, even if they're broken. At least they're still, you know, visitable. They weren't sure how long Hello Games would keep things on their server, so I'm gonna head back to my portal. Head over there. So I'm gonna get what, 2 more systems to check. Just get loaded in here. I'm just trying to go through these kind of quickly. These are some kind of like more advanced glitch building. I do have some like regular bases though that I want to check out. You know, like, you know, material bases, stuff like that. Make sure my I think there's at least a couple different stasis device farms. I have so many saves that it's hard to kind of keep bases straight. So, oh, there's another thing I want to check here is I'm pretty sure my Raza is still on this account. Oh, and of course I can't see. Okay, here's Golden Vector. That one. Yeah, this is the, hopefully it loads in. This is the original starter ship. It's changed a couple times. It used to be like all red, but this is the, what got converted over. It was called the Razamama S36, then it changed into this. I think I brought up to an S-Class, didn't I? Yeah, I did bring it up to an S-Class. Yeah, it's kind of like an orange and white now. And I'm pretty sure my vector's on the save as well. This was the, yeah, it's called the Tashi's Gambit now. It was the PS5 or PS4 pre-order ship. It used to be blue, but now, yeah, it's still kind of like a greenish color. Yeah, this is the pre-order ship and the original. So I made sure to hold on to them. I have them on a couple other saves too. I think either one or both of my other legacy saves have it. I want to switch back over to them. Oh, here's the slots on that. So the superchargers aren't too bad. At least you get a couple that are paired up. Just want to switch this back over though. Yeah, this was me just messing around doing some R&D stuff back when all these new things came out. A lot of times I'll just grab a few new base parts and come down here and experiment a little bit with them. Alright, let's get over to that other system. This one I hope shows up because a couple of these builds took a really long time. Let's see here, we got these. I believe there's 6 bases in this system to look at. What am I looking for? A rocket. Yeah, at least I can actually see the glyphs in this screenshot. And this first base, it took me probably at least 80 hours to put together, if not longer. It was my first time trying to actually use enlarged base parts, so it took quite a while. There was a lot of things where you place the piece and it's not just right, so you have to delete it and do it all over again. That was this entire build, pretty much. So, hope it shows up. Alright, loss and us in a hill of hillification. Yeah, say that 10 times real quick. Alright. Vortex Islands here. Oh, I thought about using this as a home system. Alright, and actually you can see my base from here. That big ship. I'm already feeling a lot better being able to see that. This is a recreation of the Dreadnought from Destiny. Far so good. See if I can teleport around. I made it so you can get all the way around it. It looks like power might not be working in there. Maybe because I'm so far away too. Yeah, I think I might have some power issues here too. It's strange because my teleporters are working. Alright, here's the other side. I'm just going to work my way all the way around it. Yeah, looks like my power is not working on the inside of the ship. So that means my teleporters probably aren't working, and I'm probably going to have to do a reload. Alright, that's the backside of the ship. Yep, no power. Why is it always power that screws me over with these? Alright, yeah, just give you an idea. These are 1, 2, 3, 12. That's like right around 250 units long. Let's see if I can actually get to this thing alright. These are triple-sized panels. So it's pretty much the entire radius of a base. It's the biggest thing I've built so far. These are all electrical EMGs, which I'm surprised I had power failure here. Like literally, if I could get access to that account, all I would have to do is probably connect one wire. That actually makes me angry. Alright. Alright, let's see if I can jump back here. Alright, so I'm glad it showed up. I am gonna do a quick save here. I'm gonna attempt to use the teleporter to get inside. Sometimes this thing misfires though. Alright, so we got in our first try. I'm gonna stay right here. Alright, and here's our little control room. These things took quite a bit to get lined up. Trying a bunch of different things. Alright, our teleporter's working. I didn't think that would be working. So it's just my light panels that are not working here, it looks like. A little downstairs area. Yeah, like all this stuff is still working. So it's just those light panels. Alright, so I know that teleporter's working, so... Okay, is the door working? Alright. Our little command room. There's the inside of the ship. Alright. Oh, those little globes aren't working anymore. That's right. These are proximity switches, just buried into the cabinet. And that's weird. I mean, I have, oh, I think light panels might be just screwed up in general. I've seen a lot of people complaining about light panels either not working or being the wrong color. So maybe those are going to be okay. Just a lot of glitching. These are part of our weapon array. You know, just a bunch of signal boosters clustered up, and the rest of the weapon core. You know, just a bunch of just regular pieces, all just kind of glitched together in different ways. You know, plus you know, like a bubble vat right there. You know, just anything with like motion and lighting. Kind of like to layer it kind of together. Then you can see like all these panels. This is what I had to glitch on. I just would glitch the center of those floors. The problem is I should have used blocks when I did it, because I could have taken the blocks out after. That way I wouldn't have to keep that panel there. I hate how it does that. It's one of the regrets I have for doing this build, was not being able to take those out. Yeah, and you see like some of these are off a little bit, but you know, especially if you look at the corners. You don't notice it from the outside really, unless you're actually looking for it. But good, I'm really glad this thing shows up. Because this was like 100 hours to build. Alright. Sure, let's get down here. Should be able to take this over to another base. Hopefully. Other bases. Yeah, Orcus, Dreadnought, Golden Ingot, supplies. Okay, these are other player bases. I'm just looking for mine now. Okay. Alright, so it looks like... Actually, some of these I can access from here, can't I? Alright, yeah. Because a couple of these were built during a different year. So I might not have to actually put in the address for a couple of these. Good. Alright, Vortex supplies. Okay, so I know Overlook. That should have been 2023 as well. Yeah, anytime I can avoid flying between planets, I kind of like to take advantage of it. Alright. So this one's looking alright. And this one just had a lot of just glitch stacking. Just going to... Oh yeah, superheated rain constantly here. I'm just taking regular items and getting them to work. Alright, so I do have power. This is a giant thing down there. Alright, so this planet changed too. This is a swamp now. Alright. Looks pretty fancy. That's all just the race initiators. Put in a circle. At least there's no big trees growing through the base. I don't even remember how many are in there. I have 2 rows worth of those, so it's probably 128 plus these ones that are sticking out. Yeah, because that looks like a 64 cluster. These are only 32 though. Yeah, there's only 32 of those. 64, yeah. 128. So like 136 of these, probably, if my math is right. Our landing pad. Oh yeah, this is the one that I did the curve on. Well, actually, that actually worked out pretty good for this type of planet. Yeah, I saw that giant tree outside one of the windows in here. I'm like, oh no, what did it do? Alright, this is just a bunch of these things clustered up. Oh, those things are not colored very good. That might be because of the planet, though. Alright, at least that base held up. It used to look a lot better. The planet was lush before. Yeah, Worlds Part 1 really changed a lot of my bases. A lot of my lush planets turned into swamps. Alright. We'll make our way over to the next base. So Overlook is done. Yeah, guys, I believe this was 2023. Oh, I didn't name it. Or put it in the name. Alright, let's see our other bases. Chlorine processing. Let me go into this screen. Yeah, I use this yellow guppy on like everything. It was like one of the first exotics I found that I really liked. This is my first freighter also that I actually got. Like it was like in the second or third time trying to find it. I just warped into a freighter battle and there it was. Yeah, I ended up getting my S-Class freighter really early. Alright. Oh, this base. I forgot about this base. I have another chlorine farm that I built for this event. I forgot all about this one. Yeah, it's right next to an archive. That's right. Alright. I just tried something a little different. I ended up spinning a bunch of these around. Just give it kind of a different look. And also so I didn't have a bunch of generators, you know, in one area. See if this still works. Yeah. Freighter doors. That's when we found out we could put some of that freighter stuff at our bases. Alright, so the ladder still acts a little wonky. Yeah, looks like these are still working. This is something else I figured out. If you glitch in these extractors, you know, what I would call front to back, you know, on the same point, you end up getting the two lights going in opposite directions like this. So pretty much all you do is there's what I think probably 8 of these here. You just kind of glitch them all in on the same point from different angles. You can get this type of design. Just kind of nice and sharp looking, you know. Anything with motion and light, I like to use. We got our weird little roof. I tried to make this so it lined up really nicely, and eventually I said the heck with it because I just could not get the angles right. Alright, and you go in here. And there's nothing too fancy. This is supposed to be kind of like an industrial type of feel to it. Just got some just random machines. I try to make like a lathe here. You know. It's kind of industrial feel to it. A bunch of separators here in the middle. And the coloring's off on those too. Those should be red and green. You know, try layering things differently. Just get a different look. Yeah. You can do a lot with, you know, universal adjacency glitch and, you know, like light blocks I used on a lot of this stuff to keep my spacing just right. You know, just using things in different ways, making up different things, you know. There's our teleporter. It's made a box out of pavers. I'm not going to bother taking this thing because there's really nothing over there to see except for the archive and some storage containers. Knowing my luck, it'll probably throw me out somewhere I don't want to be. Then I'll have to run all the way back here. Alright, so this base looks alright. Let's head over to the next one. I was going to try to use the teleporter, but I don't think anything else in there is actually in this system. That's the island build. Oh yeah, I need to check on this one. Actually, is that the closest? That one. I just want to make sure I'm not running all over the place. Okay, this is a dreadnought. Is there a planet behind me somewhere? Overlook we just visited. Okay, so we stopped by 3 bases. Okay, so I only have 3 more to go. Okay. So we got island. Island plan. Okay. So we'll just start at the bottom. Just go to island first. I'm not sure if this planet changed. It still says it's grassy, so we'll go see what this looks like. Yeah, this was actually a pretty big build as well. But I'm definitely glad to see some of these bases are loaded in because I was really worried about them. There's going to be one more system after that. Then I can actually start looking at bases from this account. I've been running around for, what, like 45 minutes now? Just looking at different bases from my other account. But I'm glad they are showing up. I didn't want to have to move all of my base videos into the dreaded deleted folder, playlist, whatever. Alright, coming a little slow here. Alright, so this planet still looks pretty good. So these are just those things that were inside that other base up on the top floor. Can't remember what they call them. So all those are just spun in a circle. This is the foundation for it. They didn't stretch all the way down to the bottom, so I had to do a couple different layers of them. Oh, and I have one that's missing right here. I'm missing an orange. Alright. You two different landing pads, yeah. This one's the same way. Then I had to try to figure out this angle. Yeah, I wanted it to be steeper than regular stairs. Get up here. Yeah, like a big outside little bar area and, you know, little gathering spot. Just a bunch of different decorations. I try to do little unique little things. Yeah. Big fire pit. I just try to make things a little unique. Big bar area. And I like using this poster for different things too. You can get some really cool light effects on it. Alright, that's looking alright. Let me see if this works alright. Alright, so we are underground. We're underwater. The big underwater area that's right next to it. This is my little hidden nip-nip area, which you can just hide right in here. I don't remember how much nip-nip's in here. I think it's 100, but it could be off. Alright, so at least that's working alright. And another teleporter over here to go up to the house. Just like a half dome. This took some figuring out, that's for sure. Because I wanted to actually make these circular up here, not just arches. So I had to flip these around each time. But yeah, just got a dome, quarter dome. Instead of doing a whole circle, because that would have just taken way too many pieces. Oh, and there's a bite beam here too, I forgot about that. I'll just try to make it look kind of fancy, you know, little porch area, stuff like that. Little tree placements. You can see sometimes this is the type of stuff that holds me up, you know, that, like, I'll sit here for like 10 hours and just try to figure out colors and stuff like that when I'm doing this, what type of trees I want to use, you know, and I'll try like a dozen different things until I find something that I actually do really like. And then here, yeah, like these trees are not working anymore. Okay, there they go. Yeah, like I haven't actually built with a lot of this stuff in quite a while, so these look different. I don't know if I like that. Alright. Yeah, good. Some of those trees. A bunch of albion pearl here just waiting to be picked. You know, teleporter. Yeah, I like to use a lot of, you know, the trees and stuff. Yeah, this does not look nearly as bright as it should. Let me go into this, see if that makes a big difference. Yeah, it does at night, at daytime, definitely. Yeah, we don't have motion, but I don't know, why does this stuff not look good? Because that should be like a light blue. They mess around the textures on stuff again, because I wish they would stop messing around with stuff. You know, people spend time building this stuff, and yeah, this stuff's not, doesn't look right. Yeah, people spend a lot of hours putting this stuff together, and they come in, they give it a texture change or something, make it look like crap. Alright, but this stuff's, looks like it's all good. Yeah, like even these. Yeah, everything's got like a weathered look. See, like, these don't look too bad. Oh. Alright, we got our giant bed. Alright. That one's looking pretty good. I don't like whatever the hell they're doing with their visuals here, though. Because this weathered look does not look good. It looks good on some things, but I wish they wouldn't change stuff like that. Alright, next piece. Yeah, I figured I might as well just hit all these bases because I'm here, so. Chlorine processing. Alright, get over to the pyramid. There's pyramid, and then chlorine processing. Alright, there is another planet here. Oh yeah, Tree of Souls. Okay. Go check this out. Now this one I might have to do a reload on. There are some automatic doors in there. Sometimes they just won't work right, like the proximity switch won't trigger sometimes, so I might have to do a reload. Alright, it's going to start to load in. Yeah, it might take a little bit. There we go, it's popping in now. Myself landed. Alright. A little pyramid action. But a 16-sided, I believe, pyramid. Pretty good size. Alright. I'll go see if this teleporter works. Yeah, light panels are... They don't look like... Nope, they are working. It's hard to tell during the day. Yep, they're lit up. Alright. Let's see if I can actually teleport into this. Alright, it's working. Same deal, there's just a lot of... Oh, we got this guy roaming around in here. A bunch of different glitches. We got a bunch of stuff up here. Just layering a bunch of stuff up against a sentinel pillar. Same deal, just kind of using the environment and building around it. I have absolutely no idea how I put this thing together. I've tried to recreate it a couple different times, and I kind of wish I had screenshots from when I built it, because I've not been able to replicate this. I've been wanting to build it too. But yeah, it's probably one of the coolest little things I built. And I don't know how to do it again. I think all these place settings are the same all the way around. Alright. And we have like a control terminal. And our teleporter upstairs. There's a couple different levels here. Okay, yep, these are working. They're not supposed to stay powered. They're supposed to look like they're broken. That's why they're kind of flickering. And I try to put stuff inside of there. Oh, that's went to the wrong teleporter. Go to this one. Alright, this will be the top. And this area is kind of weird because there's really not that much room up here. But yeah, just some more glitch layering. One of my little table designs I like to use. And I do like how I did this roof, because it comes together as a point, but I want it to be kind of flat at the top, so I end up using those tube lights. And it gives you a nice design too. I like the pattern in here. These are all those prefab windows that used to be such a pain to try to use, because if you misplace one of them and you delete it, you delete like all of them, so, or a good amount of them all at once. Alright. That base looks pretty good. So hopefully we can exit. Alright, looking good. one more base. This next one's going to be kind of a quick one. This next one's more like a showpiece type of base. It doesn't really have any function, it just looks kind of cool. We'll get over to that one. Hopefully it still looks cool. Yeah. I eventually have to go through and actually clear some of this stuff out. I've been on this account like a year, so this one's right in between two different archives, but want to do put something in between it. Let this stuff load in. Might take a minute for the floor to render in. Alright. Looks like we're probably good to go. Alright. So I've always wanted to kind of create my own tree. So I just used a bunch of small trees and made one big one. I did, put other trees in here to kind of make it look like it wasn't like perfect or anything. Then all of these, with the frozen planters and the grass, and the whole floor is angled slightly. Then I use the small concrete, because this is actually straight right here, and then it starts to slowly angle down, then straight again. So it did take a little bit to figure out how to do that. Then all these things are somewhat sequenced stuff. Yeah, typically those all like pull through. And of course you got your initiators with the fissures. It looks really nice at night. See if I can get a good view of it at night. You know how when these all pulse together like that, gives you a nice. It looks like rays of, like rays of light, kind of pulsing down on you. That's that little build. Yeah, this is another one that took a long time to just figure out. Because all these different trees in there, they took, all of this was done with light blocks. And, just hundreds of light blocks. Just laid out in the center, and then as you made your way up, you had to kind of angle things a little bit differently and increase the size, and because this isn't just straight up, it starts kind of narrow, then it widens a little bit, then it widens again, then you start to actually get your branches. Then up at the top, this is kind of how the regular trees would have looked without that glowing one. So I mean, there's like 6 layers of trees here. This one was pretty close to 3,000 pieces, if not exactly. So, and I wanted to kind of get a grid up at the top just to throw more light around. And these are just separate trees stuck in there. I did throw in some of these to add a little bit more light. Alright, so this one shows up. And we got one more system. And that one's got 6 bases on it as well. So we're gonna jump in here and head back over here. Alright, and let's see, I'm just checking my computer right now. Let's see if I can find that next portal address. I think I can get it right here. Taking quite a while to get there. Yeah, so that last system was Distant World Tours 2023. Now we're going to head over to 2024. Yeah, that would be 6 bases over here to take a look at. Yeah, and all these spaces are, so far, have been in Euclid, so anybody should be able to get here as long as they have the glyphs. We got some, or bug. I was just looking at this portal address, and it's somewhat similar to that last one. So it must be pretty close to each other. Alright, and we got base. So this will be from 2024. Head through there. Yeah, I'm just glad to see that these are actually on the server, because I haven't been to any of these in quite a while. Like, I'm pretty sure my PlayStation died, I believe it was in July. And then, when I went to move I moved my hard drive out of the old PS5 into the new one. And of course I had to format it, so I weren't sure because you can't do local backups on PS5, so I weren't sure if it would work or not. Alright, so this planet did change, I think. I don't remember it being mega. Yeah, I don't remember it being like this. Oh man. Don't tell me this is ruined. Alright, we got a chlorine pit stop, so we want to go over there. Do I have another base here? Oh, I know why. I found these on this account, didn't I? Yeah, your base, okay. I found the system on this save. Alright, chlorine pit stop. And I'm gonna hit every asteroid available. Oh, we'll get down there. Yeah, this planet did change. Oh man. Oh, it might be for the better, actually. Looks like it just barely fits. Alright, our teleporter's here. Alright, so that'll work. Yeah, this is more advanced. Alright. So we have our little helix here. Learned this from another builder called Crisscross Applesauce. He has a really good tutorial on how to get this to coil like that. And I just put that down for a base. And I actually, when you go to do this like helix thing, you end up with an extra long wire. So I actually took that long wire, and that's how I got all these weather-tight doors in. That was just the other side of the wire, so they follow the same curve. So that worked out pretty good. And then again these prefab windows with arches, the concrete arches. And this bottom piece, okay, so electric isn't working here again. So silos probably aren't working either. Yeah, and these are angled just slightly to allow you to see the light floor. I don't think there's anything else really out here. Let's see if our doors are working. Alright, so far so good. And there's not a ton to see in here either. You know, see, this is what it looks like when you only have one setup of gas extractors. How you can get those two little lights. And that. Alright, so our salt is working. It's our oxygen. Okay, so power is working here. It's just not working on the light floors for some reason. Alright. That looks alright. Doors are working. I thought for sure there was going to be a big plant right in the middle of that. Actually, did any of it show at all? It's right up against it. Alright, good. So we don't have any of those plants going right through it. So actually, I'm going to... What time is it here? Oh, we might not have time. I was going to say, I want to see kind of what this looks like at nighttime. I will just have to kind of imagine it for a second. Go into... Actually, that might look alright. Yeah, because these are going to be animated a little bit too. Might look pretty nice at night. Alright, so that base is done. Have to be a little careful when I fly out of here. Alright, it's a save beacon. Looking for the base on this planet. What planet is this in front of me? That must be negative ions. Or it might be organic. Let's fly out here a little bit. Oh, actually there's a planet behind me. Alright. Probably go to that one. Because all the other planets are behind me. Oh yeah, this planet changed. This used to be a lush planet. Alright, just go into this screen so those stars don't drop the frame rate. The upload rate or whatever the heck they call it. this one's kind of far away. Yeah, this used to be a lush planet. Kind of a contemporary type of build. This is actually the first time I've tried anything like this. Yeah, we still have that weathered look on the stone. Yeah, people put so many hours into building, and they come through and they give us this stuff. Yeah. Let's take a quick look out here. Yeah, when I see stuff like this, it makes me want to just delete it, you know. Same thing like when they change their planet sometimes. Alright, you got a big... These are the other prefab windows. We're gonna be taking damage out here. Okay, let me turn that crap off. Oh, everything's down low anyway. Oh yeah, I'm set up for build mode. Alright. Oh, just a bunch of stuff kind of glitched together in here. I just had to kind of fill up a room, so I just threw a bunch of stuff together in here. We got our little pictures and stuff. Ooh, I don't like the lighting on that. A bunch of different plants. You got your little porch areas too. There's a couple different Nautilons out there. You got these guys now. Alright, we'll go back into the actual main house. Our kitchen area. Little double oven, cooktop, big refrigerator, lots of food, little tiny bar. Yeah, this is all built out of floors, little stone floors. That used to look really nice, now they look like garbage. I mean, they look like stone, but they used to be a nice color. Yeah, and that's a little trick I saw on somebody else's. I think it was Boyd Gaming. Put in the little decals on these to make books. Yeah, I try to take things other people do and put a little spin on it. Alright, got a big fish tank with a bunch of crap on top of it. And regular sized bar. Kind of like a little social room. A nice big TV. I do like how some of these like pictures came out using the prefab wall as a picture frame. All types of lightning happen out there. Alright, master bedroom. Nice big bed. Yeah, a lot of times I like to build my own beds. Those little red ones just don't look all that great. Sometimes you have to build your own stuff. Alright, and secondary bedroom. Yeah, these concrete bags, I like using those for pillows. It's kind of a contemporary home. You got bathroom over here, a tub, and a shower. Toilet. Oh, and the lighting. This is what actually made me want to build this. I saw somebody else use the ceiling lights like that. I wanted to build, a bunch of recessed lighting fixtures, and messing around a little bit with different decals. Some of them came out good, and some of them came out not so good, but just try to do something a little creative with different parts we have. Yeah. Alright. So that is going to be that build. Yep. Not too bad. So head over to the next base, I guess. That would be like 2 of them down. See what this map looks like. Okay, they're all pretty close together. So we've been there, we've been to Axis C. So we'll go to negative ions. The other ones. Yeah, it's strange. It saves some of the names I use, but not all of them. These 3 I did name. Okay, Purple Haze took. Yeah, for some reason it didn't take that name or this name. Weird. But we'll head over, check out the one on negative ions next. Should be Oppenheim. Alright, head over there. Alright, I'll get over to that one next. Had to jump out and grab myself a water. A lot of yapping, so get over there. Be, 3 more to visit here. That should be a large planet. Fireville. Okay. Oppenheim. Yeah, this is another one where I might have trouble with the doors if I'm having power issues, so far I haven't had any issues with them, except for power at mainly the floors. So, get over here. I wasn't planning on it taking this long, but I want to check on these because, I don't want to lose them. Oh, I got my happiness. Somebody gave me some junk. That's why I turn off multiplier. Half the time you never know what somebody in the anomaly is going to try to slip you. But yeah, this is something that they do. I don't know if they did one last year or not, but yeah, it's always a little event I always used to look forward to. You get to see some really amazing bases that, some of these top tier builders put together. Alright. This is actually the first time I ever used just prefabs to build a base. Well, it's mainly all prefabs. Most of the base is prefab. But, yeah. Doesn't look like much from out here. A bunch of stuff in there, though. Come up here and we got our first airlock. Going into a radiation facility, so need to make sure a little decontamination area. Hopefully this door opens up. Alright, now you're in the clean room. Now you can go into the base. You have kind of like a little waiting room. You know, your receptionist. And a little waiting room to get in to see the boss. Now this fancy office. You got kind of a storage room. You got a couple of different things of uranium here, some empties. Now this one's got a different amount. I think there's 2 different uranium lines coming in here. You got more just storage and repair stuff. And you got your calutrons. Go and refine your uranium down. Now these took quite a bit to set up. Once you get one of them set up, they all kind of fall into place though. Let's see if I can actually glitch in here, show you guys what the inside of this looks like. But that was a lot of this was done with light blocks, just to get the spacing right. Alright, this is what it looks like on the inside. It was just, yeah, getting all your spacing just right. As you can see, there's very little difference between this one and that one. I just had to kind of eyeball a lot of this stuff when you put it in. Just again, just to get your spacing together, you know, I guess those stuff lines up. Got some more uranium over here. You know, just some fun little glitches. And of course, you got to have one of them that's broken down, so that one's going to be down for repair, and a little fuse box for it. But yeah, there's not a whole lot. There's a lot of stuff here, but there's a lot of it's just detail, not scale, you know. You got a bathroom, little tiny stalls. It's so small in here that I couldn't even get a camera in here to film. And little quality control area. And you gotta make sure your uranium is good and deadly. You got a nice big break room. Your vending machine. Actually, that looks like kind of like crap now. There's so much light there. But this is a design I took from Tosk, another builder, and I, you know, even give him a little bit of credit there. I kind of tried to put his name in there. Got a little vending machine, fridge. Got your exit here. And loop right around. There's all you can also get back into the shop area here too. Of course, you got your first aid stuff, but you never know when you might need that. That's about it here. I'll just go back outside. Make sure this all works. Yeah, I wanted to put these on like a little bit of a delay. Yeah, just for effect more than anything. Wait for these ones to open up. Alright. That one's done. Actually, see if, yep, my cave's still here. This is where I put the relays and stuff for those doors. Oh, this did change. Can't see my my switches. They're buried in here somewhere. Yeah, the ground changed here. I can't even see them. Oh, there we go. Oh, yep, there's all your different relays for your airlocks. This is the first one, and then each door has their own little timer. So, all right, so there's that one. Let's get over to the next base. I have to fly out a little further. Getaway, we just left there. Okay, Fireville. Scale-wise, this one's probably the biggest, so I'm probably not going to spend too much time at this one. At least everything seems to be working alright in their rendering, so... Wanted to model this base after like an old like western town type of thing. Let's get landed in here. Right. So I try to use a lot of like the classic wood here, the legacy wood parts. Just gives it more of a weathered look. See, I wouldn't mind like this wood to be weathered, to have that weathered look, but I don't want it to be on my stone. So we have like a old western type buildings. We have to kind of go through these real quick. Alright, this is like a little bank. And we have a little office over there. Back here you got your teller. Their little counting room. Bags of money. Then you have your bank vault. A bunch of, safety deposit. And, an actual safe. Like scale-wise, this one's probably the biggest. And you have a chapel, a little confession area, and whatever you want to call this, a riser, little office area, bunch of pews, and I use these doors as windows, just to give it a little more light. We have a bell and stuff up here too. And over here, is this the little jail? I think it is. Yep, a couple cells here for if I get out of line. A little armory. Gotta be able to keep your weapons somewhere. And this is a bar. We've got our saloon. Nice big open bar. And put little slats here so that you can walk through. Of course you gotta have weapons under your bar because you can't have people getting out of control. Just kind of basic, but it does the job. Up here you got a, just a bunch of beds, Those old towns, they always had a upstairs for different reasons. Alright, we got our, courthouse and our little courtroom. And upstairs, actually down here is like a little holding cell for whoever's on trial or whatever. And upstairs, just like little town offices, maybe little lawyer offices or whatever. And in here, you got the mayor's office. Just oversee everything in here. See, like, I don't mind, like, the weathered look here, because it actually fits the environment, but I don't want it in all my other bases. Alright, and a couple different shops. It's like an armorer, or one of those guys that fixes all your stuff. Give you some supplies. You have a forge over here, where you can get your tools fixed up and get them working again. And this one's kind of like a general store. Different stuff you might want. With a little sleeping quarter for the guy that runs the place. His own little kitchen. Yeah, I don't really like these beds, but they work for this purpose. And over here is our inn. Just have like a common area down here, and pretty much got a little bathroom area here. Of course, it's like a community bathroom, so you just have your basic little rooms for overnight, or you can get the upgrade to a 2-person room. Yeah, not too bad. They all have their own little wash station and bucket. If you need a bucket, you need it. So. Yeah, I've been wanting to do like a little western town for a while. Finally got a chance. That gives you a nice big barn. Some different critters in it. A couple of different diplos. Got a critter mushroom beetle. Proto-gex. Is a area up top. I'm not going to go all the way up there, but little loft area. A little spot back here for the kids. The kids are always up to something, so they have their own little hideaway area where they can get some nip-nip and maybe have a few drinks, play some Pong or something. There's that, and a couple other things. We have a nice, our windmill. That took a bit to build, because I've never built anything like this before, so. See, the good thing is with this build event, you have months to do it, so I was lucky enough to be able to get in here like 3 or 4 months early and start placing things together. So, got that all built up. Big old windmill. We're gonna have fried dino here in a minute. And here's our little electric room. That's about it. And a little water station too. So you can get some water and bring back to your room. But that's that base. That was a fun one to try to put together. Gotta go outside of my comfort zone on some of the building. Alright, so I think the 2 more bases here. You have a Bubble Factory and Organic. So let's get off this planet.
Extreme temperature detected.
Let's get away. Chlorine. Organic. I'm looking for a bubble factory. Okay, bubble factory right there. Yeah, I might have to do a couple different parts for this because I just realized I'm like 2 hours in now, almost. Yeah, sometimes YouTube doesn't want your videos to be too long. Okay, so the bubble factory with our landing pads. Down on the water, there they are. Yeah, I don't like the look of these trees now. They're not as bright. They used to be really bright. Alright, we have daytime. Oh, this planet changed. Oh, come on. We got our little walkway here. This is all done with the pallets, industrial pallet. I think they look really good for like a deck type of thing. It's a really nice look. Alright, so hopefully this thing isn't completely ruined. I think it'll be fine. Most of the stuff's up in the air anyway. Alright, we have our bubble machines. These are the wrong color. Yeah, for some reason all my glitch separators are red now instead of the color I wanted them to be. It's not like I can come back here and change them, so they're locked in now. Unfortunate. And all our stuff is weathered again. Oh yeah. Just a couple big bubble making machines. At least the planet didn't mess with it too much, but it messed with all my colors. It was like a purple and blue. Yeah, the colors don't pop nearly as much as they should. It sucks because you build this stuff for a special event, and for some reason, somebody had the bright idea to go and change all these lush planets into swamp. At least it will still show it for now. I might rebuild this. I really wish they wouldn't mess around with planets like this, or building materials. The building system was working fine. Now half of it doesn't work. And What is this? I haven't seen this yet. It's actually like... That's actually a pretty cool looking plant. At first I thought somebody built a base here. I was about to get angry. This is actually a pretty cool looking thing. Oh. Yeah, when I first saw that I thought somebody built a base like really close to here. I'm glad they didn't. Alright, so got one more base to go look at, and then get back to bases that are on this save. Or this account, rather. So we have organic. Take a little bit to get there. Now this base, I tried to challenge myself on this one. I wanted to use only one menu in your build menu to do the entire base, so I went with plants. That's why I called it organic. So everything at the time that was in your plant menu is going to appear in this base. I mean, the only thing that isn't is the landing pads, and there might be a teleporter here. Oh, this planet changed too. Alright, this one will take a few moments to load in. There is a crashed ship here too. Alright, didn't take too long. No, except for the landing pads, everything else is plants. So you got your, your huts, those things. And over here, going to be a bunch of other plants. Like even all these rocks are all glitched in. The frozen planters, and some of the trees are upside down for a different effect. And over here, you get different trees kind of stacked together. You got your frozen planters, and then that other rock thing with the cave creepers. And there's this big display here. Just everything just kind of glitched in together. Yeah, I don't like how those things look now. I don't know, it's not as bright. They used to be too bright, actually. But, yeah, just different plants. I'll just made into a big dome, or half dome. Yeah, everything that appeared in the plant menu is here. I have an extra wire here that I can no longer delete, and it's going to show up. Oh no, it won't show up out of my build camera. Good. So yeah, pretty much this whole floor was done with light blocks. Just upside down light blocks. This is the bottom of the frozen planter. So yeah, pretty much everything here was built with light blocks in some capacity. Just to get things all lined up. Because you got your different heights that you're trying to glitch stuff in on, like all these little pumpkin things. Same thing with the cave creepers. That's why they're so straight up and down, because they're put in with light blocks. But that's about it on this one. This is probably the most unique thing I built because it's again, it's taken one menu, one build, one build menu, and putting the whole thing together. So, yeah, it's probably one of my favorites. Alright, and actually, is there a teleporter down here? I think I put one in for the tour and then got rid of it. Oh no, it's still down there. So, head back to our home portal. Actually, I don't even need the portal. I can just go right from here. See, some of these, I'm not even sure if they're still around. I think I deleted that. Okay, so I actually do have more bases here than I thought. Yeah, a lot of these I have marked for future use. A lot of these I already built on different save files. Just I'd like to keep a record of them. Here's all our different galaxies. Yeah, I don't have all that many. There's like 30 of them, but okay. So, might as well, yeah, let's go to. Yeah, like Rusted Indium, I know that's deleted. I don't know why it's still showing up. Um, Same thing with Ferrite Farm. I'm pretty sure that's gone too. Actually, I think that's just resources. Rusted Indium, I'm pretty sure that's gone. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna. Actually, let's do this from the. Do this from the anomaly. That way, if there's no base there, I can just teleport back and I can delete it from my list. That'd probably be the quickest, safest way to do this. Yeah, that way can clear out some of these bases too, because if I'm not going to use it, I just want to get it out of my list. Alright, so we'll get landed in here and head down to our first, pretty much just go to the first one on the list, I guess. There's a base computer there, I'm just going to delete it and return. Go from there. Yeah, I know I deleted some of this stuff. Alright, yeah, using the anomaly to do this will be a lot quicker. So, there will be some that I warp into, and it's just going to be a base computer, so I'm most likely just going to delete it. Because I have too many bases in my my list right now. Some of them I'm probably going to use later on, but let's see your bases. So this Ferrite Farm, you know what? I am going to keep that because it's easy access to Ferrite. Byzantine Portal. This Rusted Indium, I think this base is gone. I'm pretty sure I deleted this like 2 years ago. For some reason I still have a picture. But I think there's just going to be a base computer here when I spawn in, so I want to get rid of it. Because I don't need to come back over here. This was in Captain Steve's area. He was doing some type of event or something, so I threw down a base and never got rid of it. Alright. Yep, so we just have a base computer. Yeah, Rusted Indian, Captain Steve. There's still some more bases here, though. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's a few more bases here. I don't think there was anything else I needed here, though. So we're gonna just delete that so I can get that out of my list. And the good thing about this is that I can just go return to anomaly. That way I don't even have to fly out of here or anything. And hopefully it deletes it from my list right away. Yeah, so I'm probably going to have to do more than one part on this. I was hoping I'd do, you know, like only one or two parts. So, see how many of the bases I can get through. I probably won't even have enough time to do this one save, actually. But hopefully visit some of these. Okay, yeah, it took it right out. Alright, so the portal base I want to keep. This one. Go see if there's anything to salvage here. Yeah, these are some of my early builds, so a lot of them are, you know, not all that great. So. Check this one out. I think this was when I started doing some glitch building. I mean, I started at the beginning of the game, but we just had like Foundations and Pathfinder, and Atlas Rises. A few things changed with that. You could put bases anywhere, but with Foundations and Pathfinder, you had to go find wild base computers, and a lot of those I had lost. Plus, I lost my original like day one save. I had like over 1,200 hours on it. I lost that save, so I did lose like my original planets. All right, so this switched over to a swamp too, didn't it? Oh, it turned into one of those weird floral ones. Yeah, I started doing a little bit of glitch building here. Yeah. I was pretty happy with how these turned out, though. My first time doing a triple landing pad layout. Put these little boats out here to hold silos. That I was, I think these are actually functioning silos, aren't they? Yep, magnetized ferrite. Yeah, this is very early glitch building for me. Yeah, there were a couple other buildings here I deleted at one point, just to get some base parts back. That's back when we could only have, I think it was either 5 saves, 6 saves, something like that. So I had to come in and delete a bunch of stuff so I could keep building. This is my first time building something like this. It turned out alright. Yeah, and a lot of times you get a Minotaur that is spawned in up top. I didn't notice. No, it doesn't look like he did that time. Yeah, sometimes there'll be a Minotaur standing here. Alright. Let's get some plants. Got an upstairs area. Nice big comfortable couch. don't remember if there's a teleporter in here. It must be outside. There's a teleporter out here. Of course, we got trees that don't want to load in, right? This is awesome. That's great. Hello Games keeps adding stuff to the game, but they can't fix the stuff that's already in it. Yeah. There is a teleporter here. Oh, it's in the upstairs. That's right. Hopefully this works. Alright, it did. First try, too. So this is inside that egg-shaped building. Some Gravitino and little display thing. Yeah, this was my first attempt at building a dome, but it turned into an egg because I got my angle wrong. But I kept it anyway. Yeah, just a nice open view. You know, trees glitching in and out. Yeah, it used to be a really nice planet. Hello Games ruined it. Alright, at least my teleporters are working. Alright, so I guess I kinda have to keep this one. I don't really use it for anything though. Actually, let's see if there are... Yeah, purple sticky punch, 6 years ago. Yeah, quite a few people have actually built stuff here. I think they liked the planet too when it was nice. This is not a paradise. Well, they call it a paradise planet, but it's definitely not as nice as it used to be. Alright, anomaly. Yeah, there's a lot of bases on this save, but I think there might only be like 6 actual bases, you know. There's a lot of them. I use this save, pretty much I would run around and create like creative mode, and just mark planets that I want to use for other projects. So, well, what I did was, this was the first save that I had a system scanner in, so I would just use my freighter and warp around, and if I saw something I liked, I'd just drop down a base computer and put something descriptive as a title. You know, like, you know, green lush moon, bioluminescent trees, striders, beetles, stuff like that. Alright, I think this AI lush planet, I'm pretty sure that got deleted as well. I think I planned on rebuilding here and just never got around to it. And activated indium isn't worth anything anymore, so don't really need this base. I think this was a pretty decent base too. Had a good amount of activated indium. But yeah, that got nerfed, so no reason to have one here. Unless I like the planet for something else, but I remember this planet being really stormy. Yeah, incoming storm right away. Yeah, there's no base here. Is there any other... Okay, there's a couple other bases here. Just checking the planets to see if there's anything decent. S-class base. I don't that is. That's not mine anyway. Yeah, it's stormy, but it's got bubbles. I think that's why I kept it. Because the storms are really cool here. Alright, we do have... Oh, S-Class activated indium. That's why I kept it. But the problem is the S-Class indium's way the frig over here. But I want to build over here, you know. So, you know what? Let's get rid of this one. I won't be needing this. Yeah, it's a nice planet when it's not storming. When it is storming, it's just it gets so dark that you can barely see anything. So it's another one out of the list. See, I hate it because they keep your screenshot there, so you're not sure if you actually deleted that base or not. Even though I delete the base and then I put down a new base computer, for some reason it still keeps the screenshot. Let's go check out the next one. Get down to some of these actual bases. Alright, we got a light, white, blue. We'll skip over that. Shallow and Turin. This is what I would consider to be my first actual glitch build. I mean, I did a little bit of glitching here and there, but this one actually took some effort. Took some time to kind of figure out how to put it all together. I can probably build this in like 20 hours now. Back then, this is probably like 60 hours because I didn't know what I was doing. I think this was in Hickenpog Galaxy also, so I'm not sure what number that is. Kind of like an oddball lush galaxy. This was actually I was invited over here by Nemo, the other creator, builder. There's a Shallow Maturin. So this planet did change also. It actually is one of the better looking ones though. But yep, just first time actually using these raceway boosters. And got them going back to back. I had to learn how to curve all these, and back then it was all done with wires. So if you deleted your wire, sometimes you would lose the whole thing. Like if I delete this one, that whole row would be done. You'd have to start all over again. Get our expanded roofs here. There's two roofs that are kind of merged together just a little bit. You can see it right here. I think there's actually 3 roofs there. Actually no, there's only 2. Just to get them kind of to look lined up as one piece. And we're just gonna round. This is all round down here, and little power cluster that's angled down. Add in some pipes and stuff to make it look, strong, I guess. And this using these things for something else. And then here, just a bunch of like different. Okay, we do have some encroachment from some of the plants. We got just a whole bunch of diplos. And up here, a couple biodomes, a little seating area, got a wire on the ground. It doesn't actually have to be there. I just put these in here to add more light. I did have landing pads up in the sky. I must have ripped those out at some point to get some parts and pieces back. Yeah, that's like my first actual glitch build. And trying to figure these things out was kind of a pain. Because they don't glitch the way you think they're going to. So you have to kind of flip them around a little bit. And a little seating area in the middle. So yeah, not a lot to it, but it took ages. Oh, and I must have built this about the time Desolation came out because I wanted to try to do something with these crates to do something different. Yeah, let's see. Shellmatern and 4 other. Pretty sure Beiderbecke has a base here. Yeah, that's Mia's Carousel. Piggy has a testing base here. Pretty sure. Yeah, Beiderbecke's base over there. Space Police headquarters. Yeah, Beiderbecke, really, really great guy. He unfortunately passed away a few years back. But it's good to see that his base is still showing up. I think he passed away about 4 years ago. So it's good to see his base is still here. So we'll head back up to the anomaly. Yeah, unfortunately, I've had to build a few different memorial pieces in this game. You know, end up seeing some of them during these little visits. Alright, go check the next one on the list. That's nothing. Alright, Lakeside Getaway. Yeah, this one's over in the Beeblebum Quadrant. Somebody had discovered a region in, I think this is Euclid. There's a builder named Beeblebum, and somebody actually found a region in the game called Beeble. So he kind of moved in and occupied the system, and this was one of his community planets. There's a bunch of really, really good builds here. So my base pales in comparison to some of them that are here, but I'm gonna end up keeping this one. Just because there's so many really cool builds that every now and then I'll swing by and see. But just a kind of a simple little, like a little prefab build on a circle. actually stick my head inside instead of walking back in. Kind of a basic little build. Ended up bringing my scientist in here, so I had somebody to kind of oversee the place. Some random stuff for people to loot. Same thing up here, just some extra plants and stuff. And a little bit of a little living quarters. Just a really nice looking planet. So there still are quite a few bases here. Yeah, I've got 12 bases there, and I think some of these other ones have little bases on them. Oh, no, most of them are right in this one. Don't think there was anything really. Yeah, a little power setup down here. And when you have some of the best builders in the game, it's kind of nice to be able to toss something up so that hopefully they can see your stuff too. So, and this was early glitch building as well. You know, get to the point where you can build circles and then kind of expand out from there. So yeah, that's that little base. You know, like a lot of these are somewhat smaller bases too, so. And we'll start getting into more of the fancier bases later on. Kind of, you know, as I go through these saves. I wish that would disappear quicker. Alright. I think there's a couple more bases on this page. Alright, got Iris of Medusa and Atlantis too. Okay, so there are still a few bases. Go over, check this one real quick. But this one I did have to take a bunch of stuff out of, so I want to see how it's looking though. Yeah, it's not a big base or anything. This is like a kind of a showpiece type thing. It's not actually like functional or anything. Get loaded in. This is a base I did for another creator called Q-Ball Gaming. When he hit, I think he hit like 1,000 viewers or something like that. So wanted to throw together a little base for him for the event. This is just a little, you know, building with glitched in floors. You know, little trees and stuff, little sitting area. A little bit of glitch in there. Then up here, not really a kaleidoscope or anything, but the first time I ever built anything like this, you know, with the mud huts and, you know, actually make one of these in like 3D, because a lot of times I just go with a flat ring of them, kind of like this flat ring here, but I wanted to angle them out. Then I repeated everything on the other side. This is still probably one of my favorite things I've built, just because I learned a lot building this. You know, how to get things lined up, and it's all done on blocks. I used square blocks to get everything put in. but it was a task. Like you can see all these little wire connectors. There's a lot of just extra wires here that I should have deleted, but I can't get in there anymore and delete them without screwing something up out here. So it's probably like another, like 200 wires or so in there that I wish I could get in there and delete. Well, maybe not 200, maybe about 120. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. The guy from over in Europe. I haven't seen him in quite a while. I think he started streaming again recently though, so yeah, Cue Ball Gaming. Alright, I'm gonna hold on to that one. It looks like this planet changed too. Once again, it used to be a nice lush planet. I think it's still considered a lush. Yeah, it's still a paradise planet, but it looks like crap. Alright, let's, actually, what do we have for bases? Yeah, we still got 17 other bases here, so got a couple over there too. Alright, let's head back. So I'm gonna end up be jumping off here, so I think I'm gonna probably have to do a couple more of these, just because some of these other saves do have quite a few builds on them, so, yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely do more than 1 or 2 streams of this, especially if I'm running into some of the, like, dead bases, I guess you could call them, where it's just a base computer. But a lot of them on my list, I do want to hold on to because I might need them later. Alright, we do have Atlantis. Oh, the Silver Vortex, yeah, Complex, Interlude. Yeah, those are all still there. Crawbaby's base. Oh, actually, I think that's just a base computer. I built that on a different thing. Oh, Paradise Found, yeah. Okay, so I've still got a few different ones. Chicken Pop Portal. That I don't need. Oh, Zoos. Okay. Yeah, I still have like half a dozen bases just on this save. Go over to Atlantis 2. This one I did delete a bunch of stuff out of. I might actually come back. I can't remember what I deleted here. I think a lot of it was the plants, but I want to keep the centerpiece to this. I do like how it came out. Or I did like how it came out. I'm not sure what it's going to look like now. Probably a big plant going right through the middle of it, with red water and yellow skies or something. Alright, so looks like my mud huts are still there. Yeah, this was planted by Damash Smash, another Conquering creator that used to play all the time. He hasn't played in quite a while. He does a lot of like horror games and stuff now. Alright, so yeah, the water changed here. Yeah, the water got more aggressive. Oh, this was if I go out here a little bit further, this outer perimeter is a 128-sided circle. It's such a big circle that everything disappears if you get kind of away from it. It's a massive, massive circle. Yeah, if you're going with a 128-sided circle, get ready to use a lot of parts. They add up really quickly. But But yep, just one big circle. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this base for now. I am gonna alter it though, because yeah, the water's a problem here now. Um, which is unfortunate because I do really like this base. What I'm thinking about doing is deleting everything that's out here and just keeping this center part, because I really do like how this came out. And what I might do is put like a riser here. That way you can kind of walk around the outside of it so you're not getting pushed around by the water. But yeah, some of these stacks were fun to do. And being able to get these things in here like this was a good learning experience. Too bad the weather is really bad right now. That's always been a problem on this planet though. It's always been really stormy. Yeah, this is a planet we used a lot for survival mode. So a lot of the bases here are on survival. This one's just on normal though. Actually, I think you can see them all now anyway. Quite a few bases. It was kind of a nice system to start off in because a lot of people had different different materials at their bases. Everybody had silos and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna end up keeping this one, but I'm gonna strip out a lot of stuff. But yeah, I wanted to do some type of like an atlas type of feel here. It's just I went too big and I used up a lot of parts. There used to be a... Did I get rid of the underwater stuff? Okay, the underwater stuff I did get rid of. Yeah, I did have like a little underwater living quarter here. Yeah, so what I might do is swing back and either cut back a lot of this stuff or just delete it outright. Yeah, maybe I'll keep the outside wall, but just make one long walkway to the landing pads, something like that. I think I only have 6 landing pads here. Actually, I got 2 over there. There should be 2 over there. All right. Yeah, maybe I'll do something like that. All right. I'm gonna head back to the anomaly. I think I'm actually probably gonna end up calling it a stream there, guys. I know I took up a lot of time with that outer vortex bases, but I wanted to make sure those all looked okay. I do have a couple of them that I'm not too thrilled about, but I can't delete them either, so it's not like I could, you know, go and do that. But we'll start getting that. This was only the first save too, so you only saw, well, like 4 bases, something like that, off this save. But I'll try to get things structured a little bit better. I'm gonna try to get on tomorrow morning and kind of just go through some of these other bases, not, you know, some of these empty bases, just so they're not cluttering up my list. And hopefully just, you know, run through a bunch of them tomorrow with you guys and kind of go from there. That way I'm kind of cleaning things up at the same time. So, I mean, you guys saw how many bases I have on this save, and a lot of them are just an empty base computer, so, or, you know, a portal base. But, yeah, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time to check this out. And I will see you guys next time. Alright, take care.